Weather Academy. Last week we learned all about pressure, and pressure plays a big role in determining our weather. But another factor that we have to think about is fronts. Now, fronts are considered to be a very strong weather system moving through and can cause a pretty drastic change in our forecast. Basically, across the United States at any point in time, we have all of these different air masses. Different types of air. We have cold and dry air, warm and moist air, warm and dry air, and cold and moist air. Where these systems start to collide is where we see fronts form. They're basically the boundary between two air masses. And when we start to see a difference in the air mass, we also start to see a difference in our weather pattern. So when cold fronts move through, they bring in cooler and drier air. A cold front can be depicted as a blue line with a triangle pointed in the direction that the front is moving. On the opposite side, we have warm fronts driving in moist and warm air, depicted as a red line with little half circles pointed in the direction that they're going. Now, last week we learned that low pressure moves in a counterclockwise direction, and all of our fronts rotate around an area of low pressure. So these fronts are following in and causing our air to change and also causing our weather to change. So let's take a look at a cold front. As a cold front moves across the ground, we're going to be seeing cold air following behind, advancing with the front. But this cold air is going to be moving into an area already occupied by warm, moist air. That's going to mean these systems are going to be colliding. Now, cold air is a lot denser than warm air, so it's going to be moving under our warm air and forcing the warm, moist air up and over the system, almost acting as a wedge as it moves across the ground. As our warm air lifts, we start to see it condense. Once it collides with that colder air, that's what's going to start to form clouds. Now, rising air causes our clouds to get bigger and bigger, and when we start to see a strong or severe weather and strong thunderstorms, that's likely when a very strong cold front is going to be moving through the area. Now, next week, make sure you tune into the Weather Academy because we're going to have an experiment that gives a better depiction of what exactly fronts do.